This is just a quick heads up about some workshops that one or two people might be interested in who look at these videos. They're led by a chap called Richard Lang, who's something of an expert on the work of Douglas Harding. Douglas Harding is a 20th century mystic that died about 5 years ago, a very interesting chap, and I'll say a bit about him in a minute. And Richard Lang was a really nice guy who I met at a gathering about Douglas Harding a few years back, is probably the person who knows the most about Douglas Harding's work, I suppose, alive today. And he's doing these workshops. They're free, and I'll post where they are as well, but there's one on January 24th in Munich, February 27th, 28th in Holland, March the 6th in London, which I'll probably be going to, March 14th in Ghent in Belgium, March 20th, 21st in Stockholm in Sweden, and in April 24th, 25th in Prague in the Czech Republic. As I say, Richard Lang will be leading these workshops on Douglas Harding's work. It's really interesting work, Douglas Harding. It's you know, if you're not into mystical stuff, or you've got a low tolerance for that kind of stuff, you wouldn't enjoy it. But if it does float your boat, they're very interesting for all kinds of reasons. And the reason that I think they're interesting, or one of the points of contact that I have with that, is that Douglas Harding is very, very English. And that, I know that sounds a bit stupid, but his enlightenment practice, even though he refers to Zen and refers to Buddhism and refers to Christianity and refers to all the religious traditions, his way of doing it, I think, is really, really English. And if you ever see any of his books or you look at his DVDs, he comes across as this, as I say, this quintessentially English gentleman. Very nice guy. And he illustrated all his own books himself, and all these illustrations and the language of the books even is very reminiscent of a kind of 1930s, 1940s. That's kind of style. It's very like Biggles, or it's like the Boy's Own Paper, or one of those kind of pre-war, slightly jingoistic, slightly very enthusiastic kind of boys stuff, really. So it's just great for all kinds of reasons. So it's as an unusual source of enlightenment, it's great. But the practice itself is very interesting, and it does link well to things like phenomenology, or to the mystical traditions I've already mentioned. So if you do get the opportunity to go to one of those workshops, I'd highly recommend them. I'll put links to the workshop details in the information box, and to what's called the Headless Organisation, which is the organisation that promotes the work of Douglas Harding. If you're interested. I have no personal investment in this, there's no conflict of interest or anything like that, it's just something that I'm personally interested in, so hope you enjoy that.